Raila is back with his reggae jig. BBI is back with a report. And William Samoei Ruto is back with his activities, which for some reason he had shelved. Let's start with Raila with his reggae jig. But before I talk about the reggae jig, I am saddened by the way certain people in this country, especially young people, are handling human dignity, values, respect. For example, why would you go to the keyboard to talk about somebody's health in a manner to suggest you are happy is unwell? The person you are talking about badly in terms of health is a father, is a wife, is a mother, is a husband. He has people who feel when you talk about their people. Somebody is perhaps involved in an accident, and the kind of tweets, the kind of stuff on social media that hurts the people who love this person. My advice to young people is to be sensitive and to respect other people, to respect your elders. The kind of things people are saying or doing about Justice Maraga, for example, that is not how you deal with people of that age and people who occupy those kind of offices. So respect is good. I urge young people to dig into scandals. If you must do paparazzi, if you must reveal, unravel, tell us secrets, let those secrets be about people who are plundering this country. Unearth scandals. Tell us who has stolen what, where he has hidden it, who has bought what with our money. That is what young people must do. Use your skills to help this country grow. After all, the future is yours. My generation has already messed this country. It is for young people to make sure this country grows to be a future where their children will enjoy. You don't do that by somebody's involved in an accident. Before the next of kin is told, you are quickly on social media with the number plates of the car, the wreckage. You don't do that. Be sensitive. Talk about things that will help you as a person and as an age group, as young people, in terms of your future. Now back to Raila. We thank God that he's doing well and is about to come back. My interest today is about Raila's jig. He says he's back with a bang for the reggae jig. Raila is coming back with the reggae for the climax. Those of us who enjoy those music that had a part of it called the climax, you know that was the sweetest part. Why is Raila coming back with the climax? He's coming back to finalize the BBI thing. The BBI that is being brought back at a time the handshake and BBI team has a friendly parliament, both Senate and the National Assembly. The leadership is compliant. They are coming back with a reggae jig at a time when, as we expect, the president is going to have reshuffled his cabinet, and therefore there is going to be a friendly executive. So really the climax is going to work for them. As we talk about BBI, BBI is also coming back. Coming back with a report. Sadly, as I highly suspect, the BBI team has done nothing. We understand they are bringing us the same report they gave us in November last year. That will be sad. They have spent our money, they have wasted our time, they have wasted our resources if they are coming back with the same report. And I know why. In my presentation to them, and in an article I wrote sometimes last week in the Nairobi Review, I am arguing the reason why they cannot crack the problem is because they cannot crack the executive. They do not know how to calibrate this issue of the president and the prime minister, which was at the core of the constitutional clamor for constitutional change from the 1990s. It is what the 2010 constitution didn't do. It is what the Cliff draft didn't manage. It is what was not possible at Naivasha. So until such a time, we have a group or a team that will crack this issue of a prime minister. Until we get there, we will never sort out the problem of the constitutional change we so much desire. And 10 years from now, some group will be coming dealing with the constitution again, and another 20 years. I have suggested, if you want to solve the problem this country has in terms of governance, you will to be bold enough, you will need to be bold enough to take a knife and cut and split neatly between functions of state and functions of government. You have a head of state who is powerful enough but has no role in government. You have the prime minister who runs government without envying the powers of the president as head of state. If you do that, if you have people who can think, not the lazy thinking, then we are not going to solve the problem of the constitution. Now with William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto is back with a bang, with the philanthropy. We say thank you, Ruto. Giving young people tanks, water tanks, sewing machines. I saw some lady helping some carpenter. But the question I keep asking, just how much can one individual help? We see people helping students to go out to study. That is good. Mboya did it. At a time it was reasonable. But in this day and age, just how much can one institution do? How much can one individual do? If you sponsor 10,000 students to go and study from a class of 1 million, surely, what have you done? We don't need to give Kenyans handouts, please. Let us not say we are helping students with scholarship about 10,000, 3,000, 2,000. Let us have a functional education system where people would not need handouts, where students will just do well, assured of progression up to the highest level they can achieve from their intellectual capacity. Let us have a functional health system so that you do not say you are raising funds for people to go to India or South Africa. Let us enable youth get employment. Employment. There is honor in work. There is dignity in a human being working. Earning money from work. Not from kazi kwa vijana. No. Not kazi mtaani, 10 billion. That is wasteful. Why can't you learn from Roosevelt when he handled the Great Depression? The works they went into did not only create work, it created hope. It gave dignity to the people, but at the same time, those who were working on things that were going to transform America and make it get out of the Great Depression. So let us not assemble boys in the village. Kazi kwa vijana, sijui kazi mtaani, they meet somewhere, they chat, they go on their phones, you know, and then you give them 5 hours. That is not work. Let us have policies that will create work. Let us not give handouts to people. It may look attractive you are giving water tanks, William Ruto, but create policies that will make sure we have jobs in this country, beginning by ensuring that Chinese people do not flood our market with useless goods. Let us produce those goods in this country. Let us create jobs for young people, not give them handouts. But it's good you are giving. So Ruto is back, but apart from the giving, Ruto is doing something else. He has come back bold. Yesterday he was saying he knows there are night meetings, he knows there are people out to derail him, but he says this, he is unmoved, he's not a man you'll shake, he's not a joker. 2022 for him is real. Now the handshake team, I have always told you, don't underrate Ruto. He says nobody should underrate him. Don't take him for granted. And I've said the same. I have said that man does not have the support of many Kenyans in terms of leadership. So it will be quite a shame when and if William Ruto can harass the handshake team simply because they are lacking in strategy. In 2013, 2017, Raila had the people. He had the votes. He lacked the strategy. And the people who didn't have the votes managed to win. Despite the shenanigans that took place, despite what came out through the Supreme Court hearing in 2017, Raila would have started with such a high number of votes that any amount of rigging would not have worked. Those shenanigans would not have worked. But he didn't have strategy. I'm now advising the handshake team for free. You can see Ruto here, he has set up a team. I mentioned there, please. I can't have been replaced because I was never anywhere. But he has a team. I don't know whether the handshake team has a team, but ensure that you have a strategy to match Ruto's strategy. Not that Ruto should not win. He's welcome to win. And I'm not saying anything against him, but I'm just weighing things and saying that the handshake team should know that it will be embarrassing for them if they ever had it in such a way that Ruto is giving them a run for their money. Look at the country. Look at the coast. When you have Amason Kingi and Joho, who is left with Ruto? Aisha Jumwa. Look at Western Province where I come from. Kaniboni Khalware did Mas Baraza, Washali. Can they really match the combined effort of Atwoli, of Paranya, Malala, Eugene Wamalwa? Can they match them? They can't match. So it will be quite embarrassing if you can be given a run for your money merely because you lacked in strategy. You took strategy for granted. But we are going to have a very interesting thing, a very interesting 2-3 months ahead as we wait for the referendum, because Raila back with the jig, BBI with a report that I suspect may be very useless, and Ruto back in the ring, ready to go and raring, but facing a wall. I hope that is a wall, a really wall, because, like I've said, it will be so embarrassing to the handshake team if a one-man army can embarrass you.